Alrighty, so the weather's finally starting to come around where I live and starting to work on my van a lot more, which means more videos and more stuff. I plan on traveling a lot, and lately I've been thinking of like protection, I guess, and people like stealing stuff, stealing my van, stealing like my setup. So since like I will be in my van and this will be pretty much the only thing I have while I'm like out, and what's in here, I keep thinking about these windows, man. And the only thing it would take to break a window is literally like a screwdriver in this little corner. And all you gotta do is just hit it and the whole thing shatters, and then you can get in and get whatever you want. So that's kind of scary, I guess. I saw this video, I'll have to post a link in the description, on YouTube, buried somewhere. This guy, he was in like Mexico or South America somewhere, and he had a bunch of locks. He had a bunch of stuff on the back of the van, and it was all welded together as far as like nuts and bolts. He like tacked all the little, so you couldn't get the bolts and you couldn't turn them. And he also had these things in the windows, and they kind of reminded me of like the jail bars on the old vans that kind of went like around, but his were so someone couldn't bust the window and just climb right in. And I thought about that for weeks. I just kept thinking about it, and he also had stuff on the front windows. And so I decided to make some, and I got like 3 of them made, and they look good. So I figured now, before I get too far, because I'm starting to get stuff done, before I get too far, I'm going to show you guys how I make it and what materials I used, what measurements, and all kinds of other fun stuff. I got one made right here that is held on the van by magnets, just so I can get a feel, get a good look of what it's turning out to be, and make sure it's like good enough, because I can't stand when stuff looks like a hack job. So here it is. I got the center of this right in line with that on the sliding window, on the center window, and yeah, this is 3/8 rod. I was going to use 10mm, but 3/8 seems to be the common thing around here. So I got some 3/8 rod, basically 10mm, and I made these little brackets out of just sheet stock that we had laying around. Drilled 2 holes in them. I kind of docked the corners, and I got them just barely tacked on there now. So just to get a feel for what this might look like. So they're pretty basic, and I just barely tacked that, and then the top. So this is going to prevent people from being able to get in. I mean, the most I can do is stick my arm through, and my body is not going to fit through that. And I'm a small dude. So yeah, I'm going to make them all the way around the windows. I'm going to just span in the front. That's going to be a different story. That's going to be a completely, I'm going to kind of copy this guy's on YouTube, a quick video that I saw. He didn't go into too much detail about how he made it, but I'm going to just kind of come up with my own thing and see how it goes. So I think this is going to work. This is looking halfway decent, especially after it's painted. I'm just going to paint it black, and just to kind of keep it from rusting up. I'm going to use nutserts, which I bought the tool already and got the little nutserts. I got the screws actually too, which are right here. I'm going to do it on this table right here. They are 5mm that was another thing I was debating on what size the screws would be, because the head of these, I didn't want it to be too like, oh look, it's sticking. I didn't want to be too outrageous because it would hit this. So that's good. And 5mm, they're not going to break a 5mm screw, especially 2 of them, 4 of them actually, because there's 4 per side, which is also another reason why I did 2 of these. I was going to just come off the back side and do 1, but I figured 2 would be stronger because the nut certs are just going in this sheet metal. So they'd have to rip out 2 and then 4, and then, so I don't know. Hopefully it holds up good and looks good. I'm gonna go outside real quick and show you from out there. All right, so here it is from outside. It's kind of hard to see on camera because of the of my brother in the picture back there, but all the trees and reflection. But it's not too bad because it lines up and it just like looks like some just bars, I guess, especially when they're black, and especially if you have tinted windows, because then you can't just see it like right off the bat, like super easy. Or curtains, if you put curtains in and they were in front of that, which would be super easy to do, and they're also going to look halfway decent because, this is my thought at least, the body line, the window seals, the rain gutter, and everything's pretty like parallel. Everything's kind of even. So with these, I'm gonna make even on the back window, and it'll like flow into the front, and it'll also be on the rear hatch. And when you kind of look, you'll be able to see this, you'll be able to see the other side and the other side, and it'll all be kind of a parallel, like even surface, is my thought at least. And I'm gonna show you how I made these. All right, so here's my setup. These are all my little brackets. Just some sheet metal and 2 holes. I had to dust it off because there was a little burr on the sheet metal on the hole. So, and I rounded them off super good. Then go on the end of this. I got, well, this is my ground obviously, but I got this little jig that I milled out. I milled out a pocket this way and a pocket this way, so I could get a perfect 90-degree angle, and it won't allow this to move. It'll keep it like straight. I also did one right here, so if I wanted to go on top of one another, that one's obviously in there. And I got this pocket milled at the right depth to where that sits in, and I can't move. So that's at a perfect 90. Where's my other one? Right here. I got this little guy that I can get these, put that in there, that locates it in that spot. I can't move around. And I got this, that pocket is just clearance, and this holds that, so I can just tack and then tack. So this is working all right. This is actually for one to go down in like this situation, because I can, yeah. So yeah, I made all these, got all this material. I think the material was 75 bucks. I got 15 bars of these, and they were 12 feet long, so which is like 3 meters, 4 meters. So I figured this was a big enough diameter to where it wouldn't bend that easy if someone were to like push on it. When it's all mounted in the van, you can't just like bend it out of the way. So, and it's not too heavy. It's kind of heavy, but not that bad, I guess, for what it's gonna do and protect. Yeah, this is what I got for this, which is the left rear window, actually right rear window. And yeah, I'm about to weld this, gotta weld that. And if you notice, this one's a little bit longer than this because the window has a slant on the back side, that's like slanted. I had to take these off because, yeah, I'm gonna mount, yeah. So it's not too bad. I'm gonna just kind of show you how I'm making them. This side's welded, well, tacked at least. I'm using a little TIG just because the TIG's so much easier to use. Actually, I'm gonna turn that thing off. This is a perfect example for this jig. That center is milled out for that connecting little stud, and yeah, you basically can't put it together wrong. This is in there, so I'm just gonna tack, and I'm gonna do this side also, and then I'm gonna, since this side needs to be angled, whoa, sorry, the side needs to be angled a little bit, I'm gonna bring it in the van, hold it up by the window, and see what kind of angle I need. Also, I have the other side made, and I'm gonna try to match the location, like the position of that, so they're kind of even on both sides. Gotta have it symmetrical. So I'm gonna tack them brackets on now that I got this on there, and I go in, this is probably way too much information, but on all these I always go in 40, and this seems to be a good number for this window, and I'm gonna weld this now. So I got them tacked on this one, but they're on the wrong freaking side, dude. These are supposed to be on the other, cause look, these one's longer than the other, and when you hold it up, it's opposite. It's backwards. So basically, I gotta break these off again and weld them on the other side. So that's what you get for not paying attention, I guess. Got these on the other side. Wasn't too bad. You can see a little tab that broke off. Hold on, let this beast focus. Little tab, and that little tab. So yeah, I welded on this side. Welded this. I also welded that up real quick, and that's good. That's good. I did this side. Still kind of warm actually. That, and this one I wasn't able to use. I don't even know where it's at. Oh, right here. I wasn't able to use this because when this is on here, that hits that corner, and I think this one does too. Oh yeah, that one hits right there. So I just tacked it on this side and that, which is plenty. And I was able to use this piece actually, which is the left-hand side of the van. And I set this on here, lined this up. Since these are both 40 millimeters in, 4 centimeters in, I knew that these were right, and these should be symmetrical. Well, like a mirror image, basically. So I welded these, that bottom one on in the same location. Welded that bottom one on, same location. Got these on, same spot. So that's what I got done today. Obviously it's getting dark out now, which you can tell. It's not too bad. It's not too bad to weld these up, and isn't gonna be that expensive total. I guess you kind of need a welder. The only thing I'm cutting this with is a hand grinder with a cutoff wheel, like a thin wheel. I'm using a TIG for this. You could use a MIG, and I have a MIG, but man, that little TIG just works so much better because these welds, the welds just look so much better. And it's like way easier. It's way easier to make little tiny welds that hold good. It doesn't just like splatter a bunch of material on there, which would be fine. I could just grind it off, and since it's getting painted, it's not that big of a deal. Tomorrow, I need to make the sliding door. I've been trying to do one a day, so this should be done before too long. A couple days, I guess. The front will take some time, but I think that's it. About to wrap it up, get some food, and call it a day. So until tomorrow, I think this is it. It was a good day.